Hello, so I'm going to, in the next couple of days, I like this depiction of tarot through this deck. It's the Alchemical Visions Tarot. So I'm going to read their definition. On probably for the next couple of days. I'll do a couple of cards, maybe about 7. So, to begin, it says, in the traditional 9 of Cups, a man sits isolated in front of a table holding 9 chalices. One common interpretation is that he has prepared wine and now awaits his guests. The 9 of Cups presented here shows, on its face, approximately the same scenario in the mundane world, excuse me, but holds a far more important message about the psychic world in the symbolism of the card. Central in the 9 of Cups is an androgynous figure. We cannot tell if it is a man or a woman. Here is the traveler, wearing a red robe, holding arms out in a gesture of blessing the people kneeling around the throne. In terms of the alchemical significance, red indicates that the great work is in its last stages of completion, close to alchemization. This card tells us the philosopher's stone is near. The traveler, having acquired knowledge, attracts sufferers pleading for relief from their pain, whether physical or psychic. This is dispensed willingly. The experiences on the road to wholeness toward the philosopher's stone have made the traveler generous, kind, and empathetic. The environment around the throne has significant messages. The figure of the 9 of Cups sits enthroned on a pedestal atop 4 rectangular steps. To be seated on this throne, a position of power, the 4 steps had to be ascended. These steps corresponding to what the traveler has learned by encountering the 4 elements of earth, water, air, and fire. It also symbolizes the knowledge of Carl Jung's 4 functions, the 4 seasons, and the 4 directions. Behind the throne are 6 pillars. 6, according to Surlot, is a symbolic of equilibrium. Through the traveler's kindness, however, a problem must be faced. Tending to the needy, curing diseases, physical and psychic, meting out blessings are certainly a good, fulfilling life. The downside is dual. First, it requires abandoning one's own journey. And second, it can become habit-forming. Adulation is very dangerous. It can cause ego inflation, which in turn is sure to immediately halt all prospects of spiritual growth. The traveler must make the terrible decision of whether to continue a life of public good or to journey on for internal psychic wholeness, which could bring to the world an even greater good. Not everyone before the traveler is begging for his help. At the bottom of the 9 of Cups are fishermen bringing up the bounty of the sea. These nourishing elements drawn from the depths of the ocean of the unconscious will hopefully keep the traveler's ego in check. Also, new emanations from the unconscious can spur the traveler to continue the journey. Floating about the traveler are 9 chalices intertwined with a berry festooned vine. This is the hope the chalices bring: growth, nourishment, and, oh God, I'm going to mispronounce this, fecundity, Fecundity. The central red chalice is surrounded with a glowing white nimbus. This is the king of the 9 of Cups. alchemical significance of red as the color signifying the impending completion of the great work indicates that our hero will not succumb to the temptations of hubris, but will, after dispensing the bounties, physical and psychic, of the benefits of his own journey, will soon once again undertake the road to wholeness. The implications of the Nine of Chalices are many. 9 represents the end of the journey. It is the end limit to the series of numbers before returning to unity. In the Hebrew tradition, 9 represent the inescapability of truth, for when multiplied, it reproduces itself. 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 equals 9. Being 3 times 3, it is also represents the multiplication of the 3 steps of the alchemical process. According to Case, as last of the numeral symbols, 9 represents the following ideas: completion, attainment, fulfillment, the goal of endeavor, and the end of the cycle of activity. The Nine of Cups addresses the problem of doing good work in the mundane world, of using what has been learned on the great journey for the benefit of the mundane world. Each traveler must weigh the apparent coldness and heartlessness of abandoning the suffering to continue the great work. Introverts benefit here more than extroverts. This may be the most difficult decision the traveler must face on the journey. However, it must be remembered that the greater the learning and the greater the experience, the more good can be done to help others in both physical and psychic realms. Thank you.